What's going on? Guys, back at you with another YouTube video. Today, I'm gonna talk about wrestling. For those of you who don't know, I am a huge wrestling fan. Go back about 9 months. You'll see a live where me and some other people gave our top 10 wrestlers of all time out of 3. Go back to April. You'll see my WrestleMania review. And other than that, but I don't really talk about it unless something is happening. And right now, it's a lot of trouble going on in one wrestling company in particular, easy for me to say. And that wrestling is AEW, which stands for All Elite Wrestling. Now, let me explain what All Elite Wrestling is for you very, very quickly or as quick as I can. All Elite Wrestling was started by Tony Khan, whose father owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, and a soccer team in England, or in the UK, to be specific. We're neither team does well, and Tony Khan has a high-ranking position in both teams. So he decided, let me start my own wrestling promotion and for guys who are active wrestlers. Let them help me run it, even though they don't know how to run a wrestling company either. They just know how to wrestle. Some of them don't even know how to do that. The four executive vice presidents were, at the time, Cody Rhodes, son of Dusty Rhodes, legendary wrestler, a tag team by the name of the Young Bucks, real names Matt and Nick Jackson of Rancho Cucamonga, California. Yes, Rancho Cucamonga sounds familiar to some of you. That's where next Friday was supposed to be shot. It wasn't really shot in Rancho Cucamonga, although some scenes were shot there. The whole movie was shot about an hour north of Rancho Cucamonga, but that's neither here nor there. And the final executive vice president was a wrestler by the name of Kenny Omega. Remember that name, folks. Remember those names. Cody Rhodes, the Young Buck, and Kenny Omega. Hold on. Give me a second, I'll be back. In a second, I'll be back. I will be back. So, yes. 4 guys, one of which only had minimal experience through their dad on how to run a wrestling business. That one, the wrestler being Cody Rhodes, because he decided to do it for a couple of years in the last days of WCW. And of course, this idiot oh, the Jaguars led. There were 2 of the wrestlers, Cody Rhodes, and one of the Jackson brothers, hired their wives as chief. One of them was a chief branding officer, which was a fun, because her name is Brandy, so it was chief branding officer instead of branding. And the Jackson wife was in charge of, what was it? She was in charge of selling shirts and souvenirs and whatnot. She was in charge of that. So we have now 6 people, and only one of them has somewhat experience on what they're doing. What can go wrong, right? Well, they start hiring all their friends, everyone who the internet wrestling community loves. I have no idea who they are. The only people I knew who they brought on were an agent, Chris Jericho, who was close to 50, if not 50 at the time, and John Moxley, who was formerly in the WWE under the name Dean Ambrose. Look it up, people, look it up. So, yes, those were the few names I knew, besides Cody Rhodes, out of respect for his late great father, Dusty Rhodes, and his brother, Dustin. So, yes, those were the names I knew. They also brought in a wrestler by the name of Pac, or Pac, however you decide to pronounce it these days, who is formerly known as Adrian Neville on WWE. And they brought in the biggest free agent in all of wrestling, CM Punk, a year ago. A year and 3 days ago, to be specific, along with Bryan Danielson, formerly known as Daniel Bryan, and Adam Cole, who is a great wrestler who deserves better than what's happening to him now, but that's besides the point. So, yeah. Those were the names I knew. Everyone else, I had no idea who they were. And it's better off that I didn't, because most of these guys don't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch, and that's me being very, very nice. So, they beat the WWE's third brand, which also happens to be their developmental brand in what was called the quote-unquote Wednesday Night Wars, because both wrestling shows were on Wednesday night, and most nights the third brand, developmental brand, whatever you want to call it, would not reach over 1 million people watching, where on the other channel, AEW would have 1.2 to 1.3 million people watching. This was earlier in year one, which turned into year two. But lately, the flower has come out. The blue. Cody Rhodes has returned to the WWE and left AEW just in time, because AEW is turning into a fire that is turning into an inferno that no one can control, because egos are getting too big, which leads up to this past Sunday, 3 days ago, to be specific. So 3 days ago, they had their biggest pay-per-view of the year, All Out, and there was a match for the championship between CM Punk and John Moxley in Chicago. That CM Punk won, and then MJF returned, and everything was great until they got backstage to the press conference. Yes, wrestlers are now having press conferences after the pay-per-view, because Tony Khan thought that would be a good idea. Boy, did that backfire on him fast. Let's get to that. So for the past month, it's been put in wrestling websites that CM Punk tried to get his own friend, a wrestler by the name of Colt Cabana, fired from All Elite Wrestling because they no longer speak nor get along, nor can stand each other. So Tony Khan was just gonna let Colt Cabana's contract expire. You can look all this up without fact. I don't have to say allegedly for once. So the remaining EVPs went to the quote-unquote wrestling journalists, dirt sheets, whatever you want to call them, and told them everything, and they put it out in their little magazines, which, who reads magazines anymore anyway? But that's besides the point. It annoyed CM Punk. So when CM Punk got to the media part of it, he started going off on the media, on the EVPs, and Colt Cabana. And by the end of it, he ended up saying, and I quote, if you have a problem with me, you can meet me in the hallway, and we can have it out there. So the three EVPs, I just went to meet him in his locker room, and this is where it gets good, folks. This is where the drama starts. So, depending on who you believe, the EVPs either went into the room or kicked down the door and entered the room where CM Trainer, his wife, I'm sorry, his trainer's wife was in the room. His trainer had just left the room because he's a producer for the company and she was watching CM Punk's doc for him while he was in the ring. Now he's covered in blood, hasn't showered, hasn't gone dressed, and these three idiots want to kick down his door and confront him on what he just said to the media about that, their friends, and Coach Cabana. Now, apparently the wife called her husband for help, and he came running like any good husband and good friend would do. So, CM Punk hits one of the jocks, knocking him out. The other two jump in. The other brother, Kenny Omega, to be specific, jumped in. CM Punk trainer jumps in, bites Kenny Omega, and pulls his hair, all allegedly. I'm not going to say allegedly. We all know this happened. They're not denying it, so I take back the allegedly. CM Punk's trainer grabs a chair, throws it at the other Jackson brother who didn't get knocked out by CM Punk. The chair connects, hit him straight in the nose, gives him a black eye. At this point, because the media is the press conference is still going on with other wrestlers. It's being recorded, and out of the corner of the screen, you can see a security guard right through the press conference, do a leap over a camera guy to get to the locker room. Producers, agents, other wrestlers are in the locker room trying to break it up. Apparently, allegedly, cops were called even though the police have come out and said nobody called the cops. Maybe the cops were there on standby just in case. It's neither here nor there. So, here's what's going on. Apparently, everyone involved in the fight has been suspended, even the people that tried to break it up. The producers, the agents, and the wrestlers who tried to break it up have been suspended as well. And apparently, to add injury to insult, during the match, CM Punk tore his tricep and will have to relinquish the championship. Not that it matters, because allegedly, and this is allegedly reported, CM Punk is going to leave the company along with his trainer, because they are not happy about what went down on Sunday. And right now, Cody Rhodes looks like the smartest person in all of wrestling because he got out before all this shit could hit the fan. Congrats, Cody Rhodes. So, yes. With that being said, that's what's going on in wrestling. Until the next one, God first, God bless, stay safe. Hit the like button, the sub button, the notification bell. If you're feeling generous, donate to the Cash App. There will be no videos tomorrow because it's my birthday and I'm celebrating it at the Rams Bills game tomorrow night. So, yeah. So with that being said, on Friday I will do a stream for my birthday, and Saturday I will do a stream with the Hawks now, talking about the upcoming Seahawks season. So until then, God first, God bless. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and stay out of AEW. Until the next one, I'm out. Deuces.